Malacanang says President Rodrigo Duterte's nearly week-long absence from official activities and events was not health-related. Presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella insists Duterte is in the pink of health. Abella says, quote, "He is alive and well. He is very well. He is just busy with what he really needs to do." He adds taking a break from public events and activities gives Duterte more time to work on documents that need to be studied or signed. But Abella does not answer when asked if the president will be out of the public eye more often. Rappler sources say Duterte had some private activities during the last 6 days he was not seen in public. Malacanang is distancing itself from talks between Muslim leaders and the Maute group over a possible hostage swap, saying such efforts do not enjoy the blessing of the Duterte administration. This after reports that Abdullah Maute, one of the Maute brothers who led the Marawi siege, proposed to release Father Chito Saganob in exchange for the freedom of his parents, Kayamora and Farhana Maute. Presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella says the demands made during those discussions have no basis. The Maute parents were arrested in early June and were charged with rebellion. Abella says the government's policy is not to negotiate with terrorists. Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre assigns Undersecretary Antonio Co. Jr. to head the task force that will reinvestigate the pork barrel scam. The task force will also probe the Disbursement Acceleration Program, or DAP. Both the pork barrel scam and DAP are being investigated by the Office of the Ombudsman. Aguirre says the task force will correct the miscarriage of justice in the probe carried out by the Aquino administration. Senator Laila de Lima, now jailed by the Duterte administration for alleged links to the drug trade, was the Justice Secretary at the time. The DAP issue was initially resolved by Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales when she indicted Abad for usurpation of legislative functions. Bayan Muna appealed and wants to include former President Benigno Aquino in the DAP charges. It also wanted to upgrade the charges to graft and malversation. The motion for reconsideration is still pending before the Ombudsman. The House of Representatives is already preparing the room where Ilocos Norte Governor Amy Marcos may be detained if she snubs a House hearing on July 25 despite a subpoena. House Committee on Good Government Chairperson Johnny Pimentel says they started the preparations after Marcos announced she will be snubbing the probe into the alleged misuse of Ilocos Norte's tobacco funds to purchase motor vehicles. The House panel is investigating Ilocos Norte's alleged misuse of 66.45 million pesos in tobacco funds used to purchase motor vehicles. The House already detained 6 Ilocos Norte officials for giving dismissive answers during the probe. The United States Supreme Court on Monday partially reinstates Donald Trump's controversial travel ban targeting citizens from 6 predominantly Muslim countries. It says the ban could now be enforced for travelers from the targeted countries who lack any bona fide relationship with a person or entity in the United States. It adds it would examine the case in full in October. The High Court says the ban could not be implemented for now against people who have personal links to the U.S., citing the examples of foreign nationals wishing to visit family or students accepted to attend university. But the decision marks a win for Trump, who has insisted the ban is necessary for national security, despite criticism that it singles out Muslims in violation of the U.S. Constitution. Trump says he felt vindicated by what he called a clear victory for our national security. Trump previously suffered a series of judicial defeats over the ban, with 2 federal appeals courts maintaining injunctions on it. In support of National Disaster Consciousness Month, Rappler will hold the first ever Agos Summit on Disaster Preparedness from July 7 to 8 at the Samsung Hall, SM Aura, Taguig. The summit will gather disaster management experts, stakeholders, and volunteers to talk about how we can all be better prepared for climate change and disasters. Tickets are limited, so register today.